We're making an easy cherry compote that only takes 15 minutes. It makes a delicious and fresh fruit topping for cheesecake, yogurt, or ice cream. Hello, my name is Nicole Bonilla. If you love healthier recipes to our favorite foods, then you are in the right place. Now you're welcome to jot down these ingredients as we go along, or you can click on the link that's in the video description below. And that will take you to the full recipe with all the details, including nutrition facts, ingredients and substitutions, and frequently asked questions. Now to make this really easy compote, you're just going to need a small saucepan, and I'm just bringing it over a medium heat. And then I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of some water. And for the cherries, you could use either fresh or frozen. So that makes this recipe really good for using cherries year-round, and it's a great way to use the fresh cherries during cherry season. So I'm just adding 2 cups of cherries. And to help enhance the flavors, we'll add 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. Next, we'll add 1/4 teaspoon of some almond extract, which just gives it a really good little flavor boost. And 1/8 teaspoon of salt. And then for the sweetener, I'm just using some organic cane sugar, but you can use any granulated sugar that you like. And then I'm just going to give this a good stir with the spatula. Now I'm just going to let this simmer just below a medium heat for 10 minutes, but I will come in and stir it occasionally. Our cherries have been simmering for 10 minutes. You can see how it's just gotten nice and bubbly, and our cherries are nice and soft, and our liquid is slightly reduced. Now this will thicken once it cools, but to give it a little bit more of a sauce consistency, we can add a little cornstarch slurry. So I've taken 1.5 tablespoons of water, and then I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. And then I'll just stir this for a minute until it's all dissolved. And then we'll just pour it into our pan, and then we'll just stir that in. And I'm just going to keep stirring it for about a minute or 2 as that sauce thickens. And you'll know it's starting to thicken because you can drag your spatula across the bottom of your pan, and it takes a minute for the sauce to fill in after it. And you can dip your spatula into your sauce, and it creates a nice thin coating. Well, that looks great. So we'll go ahead and turn off our heat, and then I'll carefully transfer it to a heat-proof bowl. Oh, that looks so beautiful, and it smells even better. Now, if you could use more healthy inspiration on a regular basis, I invite you to join my email list. All you have to do is click on the link in the video description below, and that is the best way for us to stay connected. Now I'll let this bowl sit out on my counter until it cools, and then I'll put it into my fridge to store in an airtight container. But here's a batch that I've had in my fridge, and you can see how it's just this perfect, thick, beautiful compote. And one of my favorite ways to enjoy it is over Greek yogurt. So I just took some Greek yogurt, put it into this bowl, added a little bit of honey to sweeten it up just a little bit. And then I'm just going to add a spoonful of compote right on top. Give it a quick swirl to spread that gorgeous color. That is delicious. I think I also need to try just a spoonful of the compote. So good. That is an explosion of juicy cherry flavor that is perfectly sweetened. And I love the little hint of almond that comes in from that almond extract, and the salt just really helped kick up the flavor a notch. And I love the consistency. It's easily pourable, but not runny. Well, I want to thank you for joining me today in my kitchen. I've included a link to this full recipe, and it's in the video description below. And that will take you to my website, gentletomy.com. And I also invite you to like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I cannot wait to have you hang out with me again in my kitchen.